Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm John. I collect cards. It's Monday night, August 29th. Hope you had a nice weekend. If you've got school-age kids and they started school today, I hope they had a great first day of their new school year. I've got a fifth grader and a first grader that got things going today, so just a half day. So getting it started, easing into it, so to speak. But they start nurse tomorrow. So, but today I just wanted to show a few autographs that I've gotten recently. We're going to open 4 envelopes here. 3 of these are through the mail that I sent out, and 1 came from a friend of mine. But first I'm going to show these 3 recent auto pickups I've gotten recently, and we'll start off with Dave Winfield here from this year's Topps Tier 1. Won this on an eBay auction. And actually the seller was based in Korea. It's the first time I've in South Korea, and it's the first time I've gotten something shipped from that far through an eBay auction. I was surprised how quick it got here. It only got here in, gosh, barely over a week, maybe seven to 10 days. So, and I think that, I think the distance it had to travel made this purchase actually a little better than what some other autos of his were selling for this product. So I was kind of happy about that. And the shipping actually was not, he actually negotiated with him a little bit on the shipping, and he knocked it down to like $5. So overall, it was a pretty pleased purchase here of a really cool Dave Winfield auto here, numbered 81 out of 99. What I like about this one, in addition to just the cool shot of him as a Yankee, and the cool signature he has, is his first year with the Yankees was 1981. So I thought that was kind of a neat little coincidence. So I picked this one up, and probably done looking around it for Tier 1. I think I ended up with like 4 or 5 autos from Tier 1, including that Harold Baines that I showed in a recent video, along with a couple of rookies I picked up in breaks that were very low-key rookies. But one was like Sammy Long of the Giants and Colton Welker of the Rockies, and player breaks where you can get that name for like $4 or something, and you get lucky. So, but the next one I'm going to show is one that I picked up. Let's see, was this an auction? Yes, this was an auction as well, and I was the only one to bid on it. I paid $20 for this one. This is a Randy Arozarena auto. It's not numbered. It's base from this Slice of a Star series from Topps Pristine this year, which apparently has become a bit of a sought-after product. I wasn't sure what to think of it because it's a resurrected kind of product, and I'd never really heard of it, and it's supposedly they didn't make a whole lot of this product, which makes it a little more interesting. So, but this is an on-card auto of Randy Arozarena. He's a pretty exciting player. He's not a superstar, I don't think, but he seems like he's become a pretty consistent player. And he seems to have his moments where he shines, which makes, gives him a little bit of value in the hobby, I think, even still. So, we'll see what he does. He and the Rays do here down the stretch. If they get in the playoffs, they'll be a dangerous team, no doubt, because of that pitching. But again, this is not numbered. And what I like about picking this one up is one of the first sales I made on eBay was in late 20, and it was shortly after the Rays had lost the World Series of the Dodgers. But Arozarena kind of was, when he went off in the postseason there, and he, basically introduced himself in a huge way, and everybody, kind of saw who he was, and he hit a whole bunch of home runs, etc. Comes through in big moments. I actually pulled his autograph as my auto in a gold label box that year, and I sold it because I thought, like, A, Tampa Bay, and B, even if he becomes a superstar, he's never going to stay in Tampa Bay, yada, yada, yada. So, I kind of slightly regretted selling it, although I did sell it for a pretty good price. It was like, I think I sold it for like $80 roughly. In 2 years ago. But I still, now that he's like, especially after he stole home last year in the ALDS against Boston, that was like a pretty exciting, another example of like, okay, he's given himself a place in the hobby and in baseball in terms of just being known as a, kind of a star. So, so I was glad to pick that one up just to kind of have in the collection. So, and then the last thought I'm going to show here is I finally caved just because there really isn't much interesting low to mid tier product out right now. And, if you're in a Target, you want to, look at what's out there on the cards, and it's like, there's just nothing interesting. And honestly, 2021 Big League is not interesting to me, but for some reason, I just wanted to rip something last week, and I bought 3 fat packs of Big League. You know, each one was like $6. Actually pulled this auto in one of them. Freddie Peralta, Brewers pitcher. I think he's hurt or has been hurt for a good chunk of this year, but he had a heck of a year last year. So didn't have his auto before, so that was a surprising pull. It's a sticker auto, but still happy to have it in the collection. So just thought I'd show you those 3 real quick. Now we're going to get to some ripping of TTMs. This first one, let's see if I can, again, manage to do this. Let's see if I can get this on camera pretty good here without bending anything. It's from Macon, Georgia. So, Macon, Georgia. And I probably should have my scissors with me, but let's see if I can just tear it open. I'm pretty sure I know who this one's from. I think it's from a Atlanta Braves catcher from back in the day, who apparently is also a basketball referee. And I was right. Yep, it is Bruce Benedict. I had no idea he had become a college basketball official post-baseball. So when I read a story, he was in a story recently. I can't remember where I read it. But I saw something about him online recently. Just, in terms of that, second career he's had after baseball. And so I had this and thought I'd send it out. He turned it around pretty quick. So thank you, Mr. Benedict, for that. Very nicely signed. Very cool. I'll sort of leave that kind of up there and maybe move these down a little bit. I'll sleeve all these up later. There might be something else in here. Maybe? No, nothing else in there. Okay. So there's one auto. And this next one, I'm going to take it off camera just for a bit. Next one is from... I don't have a good job of covering my name and all that jazz on these things. I still haven't perfected it yet. But it is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I do know, whoops, that's what happens when you have cards piled up all next to you. Sometimes you tip them over. Some Chrome Platinum Anniversary got in the way there. I'm going to cut this one. We'll just make it easier that way. I know who this is from because of the Oklahoma. It is from a former really good second baseman, underrated 80s second baseman, who played for Pittsburgh and the then California Angels. Probably, might know who I'm talking about. Apparently he turns things around pretty quickly in the hobby, and finally got around to sending to him. And that is Johnny Ray. Let's see if did I give him anything? Nope, he just left the card blank, which is totally fine. Thank you, Mr. Ray, for this. Very nicely signed. I knew this was the only card I could really track down that I have, because I don't have, I got back in the hobby. I've just sort of picked up lots or grab bags along the way to kind of build up a TTM base. And so this one was not my best one. I would have rather sent him something from the Pirates, but, they're sort of with the dark background. I knew blue ink would be kind of maybe tricky there, but it actually turned out all right. So thank you, Johnny Ray, for this one. He was like a 2-time All-Star. One time with the Angels, maybe both times with the Angels. But he had a really solid career. I definitely remember hearing about him, but I didn't realize how good of a career he really had until I looked at his Baseball Reference in recent weeks before I sent that out. So very cool to have that one in the collection. Thank you, Mr. Ray. This third one here is from... So this one is the mystery one. I cannot remember who may have sent this one or where this is coming from, but it's coming from Columbia, South Carolina, and it's got an old Scooby-Doo stamp on there, and I haven't used those in quite a while. In fact, I only bought them once, and I used them a while back, so I can't remember who this is from, even though I could probably figure it out on the list of names that I keep track of, but I didn't do that in this case, so we're going to find out together. It is 2 cards, and it is... Oh, okay. Herm Winningham. Been waiting for this one. And I sent him 2, and he signed them both nicely. I'm happy to finally get these. He charged, I think he charges $5 per auto. So I was starting to get a little worried about this one, because this one's been out for probably about 3 months. But thank you, Mr. Winningham, for these. Signed really nicely. I believe he started his career with the New York Mets, and then sort of, got to Cincinnati and became a pretty good contributor, I think, on that 1990s World Series winner. I'm pretty sure he was still there for that team. Kind of you could tell here he started a fair amount of games or played in a bunch of games. He's sort of like a 4th outfielder kind of a guy. as he emerged into. So not a huge hitter, but I think he had good speed, good defense, pretty dependable player on a good added depth on a roster back in his day. And this one's nicely signed too. That's a pretty cool card overall. I kind of like the pose on that one, and very nice signatures from Herm Winningham. So thank you, Mr. Winningham, on this one. All right, last envelope I will open is coming from a good buddy of mine, and I'm pretty sure I know who this is. He heard me mention a name on a past video of a player I didn't have his auto of, and kind of was maybe hoping I'd have one someday. And I guess he had a few he was willing to offer me. So thank you, good friend. You know who you are. We're gonna open this up right now. I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly he sent me. I'm pretty sure I know the player, but we're gonna find out. What did he got? Okay, hold on. He sent me a little note too. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I've mentioned his name before, and he's got a little note here. No autographed Will Clark card yet. Your YouTube videos are supplying me with too much info. So Tim, I didn't know you were going to send me a card on here. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it. I was going to keep your name out of this one just in case, but again, thanks for this. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's so sweet. All-star card, Will Clark, Giants. And you know what? This is bad of me not knowing what all-star year this is from. I'm going to have to look on the back on this one. Ooh, this isn't 90. 90 to have those crazy borders. It's not 91. 92? It's not Beatty's, I don't think. Let's see. Or maybe it's a special. Is it a special? 90. It is a 90 card. So I'm taking my glasses off for a second. It is a 90 card, but maybe it's like a special of some kind that I just don't remember. So I was starting to get out of the hobby at this point a little bit. I was out in earnest after the 91 season because I remember that set a lot, and it's one of my favorite designs. But I do not remember collecting 92 really at all. And by that point, I was in college. So, but maybe this is a standard 90 All-Star card, or is this a... No, it can't be. 34 in a series of 66. So it's some kind of special that I just don't remember. But thank you, Tim. This one is sweet. Love having this in my collection. That's great. Super cool. So there you have it. Will the Thrill ends our video. I'll put him down here. Hope you're all having a great start, like I said, to your week. Baseball pennant race is really starting to heat up. Enjoy them as we move forward here into September. Yeah, we'll be talking, before we know it, we'll be talking playoff rotations, which I can't wait for that to happen. I'm really looking forward to the stretch runs here in both leagues. So with that, have a great week, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.